Thank you very much. Happy to see you.
Good to see you.
Margaret, not Marjorie.
Whichever one.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, Marjorie. Okay, whichever. Maggie.
Maggie.
Yes.
It's been a long time. What have you been up to?
Oh, I've been busy. This year has been quite busy. Guess what, Igunza? I enrolled into a boot camp this year.
Wow.
So I've just graduated actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just meeting a friend of mine.
Awesome.
We had a few things to talk about.
Awesome.
And then again, I'm glad I bumped into you.
How's family?
Family is doing great.
I told you the other day, you need to bring them to my hood so that we can do some, especially the little kids.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
You have such a good crew, huh?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I hope you do too.
Awesome. So I was telling you, I'm actually part of the Fearless Institute. I would really love, I wish you had time. Another day we can organize. You meet the visionary. He's a visionary Kenyan.
All right.
A few of us came up with this institute. It's barely 2 years old.
Okay.
And this institute believes that we are actually called, to transform ordinary people like myself to extraordinary fearless influence.
Amazing.
And that is how the book came about.
What book are we talking about? That's your book?
You should read it, Igunza.
Unleash the leadership giant in you. A fearless influencer's guide.
There you go.
And you're the author.
Yes.
Look here, Margaret Kimani. That's so amazing. I didn't know you could author books.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Igunza? And the reason probably, today feels like, a little child.
Yeah.
This book, I was supposed to write a book 7 years ago.
Then what happened?
And guess what? My mentor was the late Dr. Miles Monroe.
Okay.
So I'd met him a few times when I was in the States. And, because you know me, I love speaking. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Writing has never been my thing.
Yeah.
So even the first time I met him, because it was in a summit in Texas, he was speaking in an event. He was like, he autographed a leadership book, some of those tiny ones he used to write, one of my favorite book. And he was like, you know what? I told him I'm from Kenya. And he was so amazed because he was also from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And he was like, guess what? You have a lot of books to write. Because I think somehow he could tell that I like talking, I'm so talkative. He's like, you have a lot of books to write. So go thee ye and write those books.
Amazing.
And over the years, I've procrastinated for the longest. I'm even so guilty.
Okay.
Then guess what? When I relocated back to Kenya, the guy came here. I think you remember that when he passed on, he was actually flying from Kenya.
Yeah.
And when he came here, I remember it was along Langata Road. I'm forgetting the name. This hotel near Wilson.
Carnival.
No, the opposite. I'm forgetting the name. The last show he did there was leadership talk.
Western,
yes, at Western. I met him again, and he could remember my face. Remember, it has been many years before now I moved here. And he told me the same thing. I bought another book. I got to meet him. Of course, you can imagine every Kenyan had gone to meet him. The seminar had been organized by a few leaders here in Kenya. And I met him and he remembered the exact words. He asked me, have you written your book?
Yeah.
I was as guilty as almost shattered. I was shattered that he could even remember.
Yeah.
I was to write books. So anyway, you can imagine it's been 2 years couple years since he passed on. And I hadn't still written a book. So thanks to Fearless Institute, I actually mentioned in the book, I know you read about it.
I will.
They've been able, through this Fearless Institute, I've been able to author a book, something that would not have happened even in another 10 years.
Amazing.
So today is a very exciting day. We get to graduate, and believe it or not, Igunza, this is a Kenyan institute. To be honest, I believe that Africa's problems, because we are one of the richest continent out of the 7. We are one of the richest.
We are the richest.
Look at us here, the national park. The most beautiful, the most the most richest, even in natural resources. Arable land, like they say, we've not cultivated. I believe that the problems we have in Africa actually lies in you and in myself.
We are the problem solvers, for lack of a better expression.
Thank you. The solutions lie in you, Igunza, and myself.
So talk to me about unleashing the giant leadership in you, unleashing the leadership giant, rather, in you.
Awesome. So this book is actually, can I call it a passion project? So my calling, and over the years, God has been speaking to me about, and actually for me, my calling is in youth. it's in leadership, it's in transformation. I'm a transformation leader, and because I mentor globally, I've been mentoring for a long time. I believe that, my writing in this book is that, the message here is very simple. All of us are leaders. When you look at the cleaner, the people who clean in this place, there's a leader in them. My house manager, I keep giving this example. Yeah. She's a leader. Like right now, I'm not home, but everything runs like a White House. Every one of us is a leader. And back to the African problems and the solutions that lie in all of us. If all of us can unleash the leadership giants in us, trust you me, we will have zero corruption, we will have zero hunger, we will have zero food insecurity. Shortage, we will have a lot of this pollution we are doing. It's because all of us are not taking leadership. Our giants, the leadership giants in us, we are not utilizing that.
Okay.
So that's what this book is all about. Just like me, I've procrastinated for the longest time. Yeah. And also another reason why I wrote this book, and thanks to the Fearless Institute, and our visionary leader is actually Pastor Meredi. Wow. I think you know him. I wish you could meet him. He's right there on the other side. Why it's very influential? Let me tell you, a lot of the content we are reading, a lot of the things that your babies, your beautiful family, kids will be reading, is Western. I feel that there's oriented. A lot of brainwash. Yeah, we are not looking at local solutions. And the most sexy thing about today is that 30 of us are elders. I have a friend there who has written about millennials, Gen Z, about how we feel very entitled. There's someone who is talking, by the way, who is a Kenyan elder there, who has written about parenting. There's somebody else who has written about addiction. There's a lot of addiction, as you know.
All the 30 of you who graduated
are Kenyan.
Are authors.
Kenyan elders, and they have authored about a topic that probably God gave them that topic. Like for example, yourself, you can talk about the media. These guys are, they are actually ranging from different sectors of the economy, and that's the most beautiful thing. We have someone in the media. I am in the banking sector, and I have every role. Again, unleashing the giant, the leadership giant. Every one of us have a solution that your sector can use to actually transform this country to the way we a lot of times, and actually I talked about authenticity here, the battle of authenticity. Every one of us, I think a lot of times we are complaining. I think Kenyans, Kenyans on Twitter, I think are very popular. Globally, we are popular for complaining. But how about, instead of complaining, we unleash the leadership giant in us and actually lead. And by leading, by the way, it's not about you being the governor or me being the senior manager or the chief. No. It's about doing the right things, leading. Transforming things that you don't feel that are right. And actually, in this class, the 30 of us, there's one thing. All of us, there's one thing that the first question, in fact, in our class we were asked is, what annoys you the most? What is that one thing when you're driving that sometimes you feel like, I want to park the car and just sort it? I'll give you an example. Personally, you see me in the slums a lot. Yeah. I'm very passionate about education because I'm a beneficiary of education, which is also one of the topics here. But how many of us go to those slums and transform those kids so that they have a livelihood instead of them begging, coming to your window and knocking every day as you're driving? Those are the things. You'll find somebody is talking about environment there. Another one is talking about how do we eliminate corruption. And so this book, I tell you, today is a reveal of this book. And for me, it's like giving back. Can I tell you? This book, the way how this book is taken. At some point, I was almost stopping writing. For me, I like talking, so sometimes I didn't have the material or I was procrastinating writing, but I kept going.
Yeah, which you've just about preempted my next question, which is, how long did it take you to write this particular book? And what are some of the challenges that you've encountered as perhaps a first-time writer?
Good question, Igunza. For me, I would say it's taken me, because we had timelines. Let me not even, before I answer your question, let me tell you, can you believe it? One of the requirements for this institute, every month I needed to read 2 books. Not my book, 2 books. And these books were very, they were very intentional, deliberate books, and they were assigned to us. So part of my writing journey, what has helped me to write quicker, I wrote in about, I would say, 8 months consistently. I wrote in 8 months, but properly I took about, I would say, 4 good months. It's taken me to write this book. But the beauty is that when you read of other elders, and especially kingdom influencers, I'm all about the kingdom. I believe that God has called us not to be mediocre. So when we read the books that were prescribed to us, we were also blogging. So for me, what helped me actually is that my blogs, part of my blog, if you go to my blog, which is also in this book, if you go to my blog, some of the content of the blog is actually a chapter
captured in the book. Yeah.
So and I think Fearless Institute, I'm telling you, I dare you, Igunza, you can Google it after this. I'm sure I can give you information also more about it. I would encourage more Kenyans or more global. By the way, we've opened a Fearless Institute to global. So someone in America has been doing this course. There's someone in Australia, and even as we enroll for next year, I would encourage people. Fearless, actually, without Fearless Institute, I can guarantee you, I would not have written this book.
What are some of the challenges that you face?
Can I tell you something? In March, actually, when coronavirus was announced, the first case was announced here, I was like, good excuse for dropping out of the institute first, before writing the book. And so for me, coronavirus and what has happened is that for some of us who have moved from working from the office to home, the job just doubled. The job just doubled. So for us, we are working longer hours. Of course, family also, the need to be with family, the need to homeschool. Those were some of the challenges. For me, by the way, I almost quit twice.
Okay.
Writing this book. And I was like, it's not that serious. I can write in 2021.
Okay. Did you sometimes feel like you're running out of ideas?
Thank you. And secondly, can I tell you, when you're a new author, not in the sector of academia per se, because that's not my sector per se, I found that the resources were lacking. Like even how do I get this code? How do I format my book? Luckily in the Fearless Institute, like the person who edited this book is also a classmate. Okay. She's a full-time editor. She's in creative sector. We were kind of blessed to have that. But you can imagine for me, it was not for her. I would not have known, you Google, of course, you get a long list, but it's hard to know who can deliver your timelines because we had very tight timelines. Another challenge was also the atmosphere. Most people, when COVID came, I think a lot of postponement, procrastination also on my end. But having Fearless and knowing that by June, I needed to have given the draft. By October, I needed to have given an edited version 1. So some of the challenges, I think there were many challenges, but Fearless, to be honest, has really, and let me tell you, Igunza, I've graduated how many universities? As I think 4 now. But, I'm sure when you did your MBA and degrees, you did all the thesis. This was very different. Working with an elder, the elder returned the book, the whole of it, as go back and do it. I mean, it was very hard.
Amazing.
But I thank God that this far, the Fearless, thanks to Fearless.
Okay, what next after now the release of your book, and where will people be able to get a copy?
Right now, this book, the copies will be hard copies for now. I'm working on putting it on the Amazon. We are working on that. The printers, by the way, everything about this book is about youth empowerment and local empowerment of entrepreneurs, innovators. I'll give you the guys who are printing their local. You can see them out. The person who will be doing all the videos and whatnot, because right now, currently we will also be setting up an e-commerce system where somebody can order the book and it will be shipped to them. But everything about this book, on top of unleashing the leadership giant, is also part of empowerment. Empowering the whole ecosystem. And I'm counting on you because you play a very big part.
Amazing.
Igunza, it's funny that I'm meeting you here today because I love your show. You have this, you should talk about it, man. There's this street hustle,
Uradi.
You should say it in English because some of us Swahili really.
It's just a plot, It's like
entrepreneurship, right?
It's entrepreneurship.
It's your hustle, kind of.
Hustle.
And it's funny. I think God works in mysterious ways. That I'm meeting you here. You are running some different errands. I actually listen to your show and I recommend it to a lot of youth. Amazing. Because one of the other things here we talk about is mindset. We need to get away from the job seeking mentality to
Job
solution
creating.
providing,
Yeah.
job creating ourselves.
Yeah.
Because there are so many opportunities. It's just sometimes because of the mindset we don't get to see them.
Okay.
So it's such an honor, and it's good to meet you.
Thank
and
you.
I know down the road also, as you read the book, I expect recommendation from you.
Okay.
I'm learning on the job, like I said, but I'm very proud to see this happen. So on from here, you ask the question,
Yeah.
what's
What
next?
next?
There'll be a lot more books, coming out of me.
Yeah.
This is just I call it my maiden authoring book.
Yeah.
It's my first book. But there will be so many books. And I hope you'll also join me in this journey. I believe you have so many books. Igunza, on Tuesday I listened to is it Takatifu? You guys
Takatifu.
are hilarious, man.
Yeah.
With your
Co-host.
yeah?
Yeah.
You guys, as in, sometimes I'm so tired on that traffic, sitting in traffic going home. And when I turn on your show,
Yeah.
you have so much, man. You have so much to offer the world.
Happy to
and I
hear
hope
that.
someday, even if it's not in a book, you could put it in audio or video. There's so much we have to offer. And the beauty, again, Igunza, part of this book is also, look at what you have. I mean, the world cannot have another Igunza. There's only one Igunza.
Yeah.
All the content God has given you, the creativity, even some jokes. You crack some jokes and I'm like, Kaya, who thinks like that?
Yeah.
Who really thinks like that?
I think so.
So we have so much talent. We have so much that the world needs. And Africa, actually, the solutions in African problems and the world problems at large actually lies in you and I.
Amazing.
So it's a very big honor to see you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Amazing. Happy. And congratulations.
Asante.
The
I know.
aspirations.
So
in the
your copy is
graduation.
coming. I will
Amazing.
drop
I'll be
my
waiting
copy
for
in
it.
your. You tell me how many you need. One of course for your wife, beautiful wife.
Yes.
And I know I've seen your boys are growing so fast.
They are.
So I think soon they'll be reading my book as well.
God willing.
I mean,
Thanks very much, and
Asante.
all the best
Yeah,
in the days
asante.
ahead.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thanks for your time,
Cheers.
man. And it's good to see you.
Amazing.
All right.
Thank you. That's it, man. We're out.